Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So I got some paint on this toe tickler here that I was sent by Ramshackle Games there. Curtis sent this on to me. This is my a cast of the sculpt that I sent him there a while ago. I'm happy out with it actually, considering I never actually thought um this guy I was going to get this guy cast. But like I said, before I put him on my Instagram and Curtis said, look, he's pretty cool, basically. See if we can cast him up. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. So that's him. And I've got a few extra ones, so I've been messing around with converting them and kind of going a bit crazy with them. This guy's still a work in progress, but as you can see, with a little bit of green stuff, you can make him into something pretty different. Like this guy's going to be some kind of insect, you know. I don't really know what he's going to be, but yeah, some kind of weird, disgusting insect maggot demon or something like that. So it's just building on top of him. But as you can see here, yeah. So I haven't done an hobby update in a good while, but this is a lot of stuff I finished up. But this is another guy that I'm pretty excited about. The little piggy fella, nasty little grunt that I painted up. This is another one that Curtis cast up for me, which is really sweet. That hopefully it'll be available soon. But as you can see, just a little naked piglet guy. And actually, I had a lot of fun painting this guy up. I get to use my new wet palette and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with him. And how the cast came out in general is pretty sweet. And I've got a good few of them to be messing around with. So as you can see, there's a fair bit of stuff here, guys. I'm not going to do it all in one video. I'll probably do it in two just because I don't want to keep you for ages. But just to run through a few different things. This guy is another sculpt I did. I think I was just wanting to sculpt up a big fat fella. I think he actually was featured in the last video where you can just see the body, and then I gave him these little tiny arms. And he's just an oaf, really, a big fat oaf, and obviously his proportions are very, very out of whack, and he does fit on the 25mm base somehow, and he's just a big naked fat guy with an axe, like. So you can use that for whatever. I don't know. I had a bit of fun making him. This guy as well, just a little tiny bit of Fimo, little wizard. I don't know, something really simple, but even the simpler shapes can be pretty sweet to sculpt up and throw some paint on. They actually look pretty good then. Um, like I said, I'm not going to go through all this at once, but I've had a lot of fun making some little Fimo monsters with my son and kind of painting them up and converting them up after. Some really simple stuff, you know. Or my wife even having a go. These are with no armatures or anything like that. Literally, it's just trying to sculpt something up as he's playing with Mala or something like beside us, just to give him an idea of what we're doing. And this guy had like little arms and stuff stuck on after, so he's a little bit more dynamic or something. I don't know, just really goofy, random stuff, you know. But other stuff I have here, I suppose, is these skeletons are pretty sweet. Just having a lot of fun texturing them up and kind of very simple paint job, but I think it's really effective. I actually had them painted up and dry brushed this green on them, and it was really, really vibrant. And then I used a black oil wash, and I kind of wish I hadn't, because the green was really, really just bright, and it just jumped out against the black, the contrast of the black. But these guys are from, I think, yeah, they're the Oatmark Skeletons. I think they're the more armored ones, and they're pretty sweet. And I've actually used little glass balls for their eyes, glass beads that are for like nail art and stuff like that for their eyes, so they're a little bit more kind of spooky, fell energy or something like that. And then they have texture with just sand and different paper and stuff like that, just to add a little bit of believability to them. And same with the bows on the strings on their bows even. So pretty happy with them. Really, really simple to paint as well. And I don't know, they look extra spooky or something. Over here, these are gourmety guys. So these are going back to the days of using toys. But these are like gourmety figures that my son was playing with, and I robbed a few off him as usual. So this guy was like originally like a molten magma or lava fella. So he turned into a big, say, candle golem or maybe a wax golem. I thought it was pretty effective. Like if that's a 28mm skeleton slash, you know, humanoid kind of size, he's pretty good for a golem, I think. As well as these guys, like that was just a bat, you know, really, really simple paint job. Gave him some claws just to look a little bit more, I don't know, like he has some kind of attack power, you know, and his hand, just his arm just being slightly moved. But yeah, really, really simple, guys. Oh, this guy was fun. He was like a moth originally, but he got turned into a big tough bumblebee. I just changed his antennae and sculpted those ones, and he looks like a big massive bumblebee, we'll say, to protect his flowers. So a lot of these, as usual, like these are just made for fun. Like this guy's a bit funky actually. This guy's a bit crazy. Don't really know what this guy would be. A gladiator, maybe like a bounty hunter or something like that. But yeah, it's all a bit mad, really, isn't it? This guy was a crystal golem. Oh, not a golem. What'd you say? This is I think I featured him in an older video, and someone had said he was from Mage Knight, that series, of figures that I've looked at on eBay. Jesus, so many times. His color looks very different actually on the camera than it does in real life. It's one of those ones, but he had his zenithal highlight, so you can see, or zenithal undercoat, so you can see this is a lot brighter here than this side, and that's just simply from the white spray coming from above. Really did the work there on that for that one, I think. And this one is who's that Pokemon? Oh my god, Aerodactyl. Jesus, I nearly forgot. But yeah, he's going to be just we'll say a gargoyle. So it's just loads of textured paint and that kind of thing to make him look a bit rocky. So he'd be used for that. That's those Pokemon figures that are just like the best things ever. Do you know what? I'm kind of flying through these. I might try to do it all in one video. So these guys are from someone actually really sound got me these set of King Kong. I think it's Kong versus Gorilla. Or, oh my god, Kong versus Godzilla. Is like the newest, let's say Godzilla slash Kong movie, whatever that came out. I haven't actually seen the movie, but I'd seen these. I think they were in Smiths or something. And you know what? They're quite expensive for what they were. There's only 6 figures in it. And geez, I think it was like 25 euro, which is a bit ridiculous. But I got it for my birthday, so hey, happy out, sound for that, man. So they're just kind of repaints, and I thought I'd base them up to have some kind of interesting creatures. Now, this Kong himself isn't actually finished, just a bit of a dry brush and pick out his mouth and his teeth and stuff. No kind of amazing paint jobs over here, as usual, but I think they're pretty cool as, like, big creatures could go. Like, so there's a 28mm. I'm just using this guy as a stand-in. Yeah, it's pretty good for, like, a medium-sized creature. Could be used for all sorts. Or this bat fella. I think my 5 leagues from the Borderlands might end up finding this guy eventually. I don't know. I just like him. He looks like a Jersey Devil or something like that, And I'm not sure the lore of these creatures in the actual movies themselves, but this guy is some kind of, they're all like colossal or kaiju, I think they're actually called in the movie. So he's kind of a mammoth slash, say, gorilla, because he walks on his fist, which is quite strange. But I'm sure someone might know the name out there. This guy was pretty sweet. So this guy was a figure of Rhino from Spider-Man, but I picked him up. He's one of the collectible ones, we'll say. The base is actually acrylic from where I work, so that was like a cut off. It was in the bin, so I was like, I'm nicking that. And all I did really was, so Rhino from Spider-Man has a goofy face there, so I just gave him a mouth, so it turned him into a big hulking crazy creature. And his eyes, I don't know why, it's wobbling a wee bit there, but I don't know why I went for the funny pupil, but I think it pops out anyway from the darker body, and I added a bit of texture and stuff like that to the body with the crackle paint and tried to, give a little bit more texture to it. But yeah, he's pretty crazy. I don't know what he'd be used for. I just thought he was a really cool figure. I have another one as well up here that's a bit goofy looking. He's a bit like, old style, what would you call it? The older design before they all got redesigned for the Marvel movies. Heroes. I don't know. I think this guy's called it Destroyer or something like that, which is pretty, as names go, isn't the most imaginative. But I think it'd be pretty cool as a big robot. I don't know why a robot would have an arse. I don't know, but he's going to be painted up and put on a big mad base as well. Like there's the base there, so that's like acrylic or perspex that would be used for like a plaque or that. But that's, we'll say, a cut off from my work. So that's, Jesus, is quite big now, but I'm just putting it on it for fun's sake, really, at this stage. So we'll race through the rest of the stuff here. This guy was being built there for a good while. I think he might have featured in one of my older videos, and he was originally one of those wrestler figures I was messing with, and I just built up on top of him and have fun giving him this really evil smile skeleton slash I don't know what you call it, demon head. With these are from the Halloween bits and bobs, the bones and the skeletons that they'll be going around. These are even probably 2-3 years old, just built up, and he's got new skinny arms, and this is all like, Mod Podge, and I think this could be baby wipes, wet wipes, not used obviously, but just because it has a bit more texture in it, and that's all quite hard. And he's got green stuff for his necklace or whatever that might be called, and then he's robing here, so he's going to be, I think he could be a good big bad. Do you know what I mean? and I'll paint them up. And the plan is to do some sort of airbrush on them for light and effects and stuff like that. But I'll see if I fire ahead with that in the end. And next up is these little robots, which I posted on Instagram that were super simple to make and actually really, really fun. This guy was, I think I made him first, yeah. So he's got Kinder Surprise, and that's another bit of acrylic from work. And you got Go-Go's or hair Go-Go's. I think I mentioned that in the last video, to use them for arms. Big, huge kind of boulder gun, absolutely ridiculous proportions. You know, this guy's straight out of like a chibi video game, you know. And even compared to like the 28mm, I don't know. It's ridiculous, like, you know what I mean? But I think he's cute. This really simple robot design, and the big gun I couldn't resist. And it is kind of based on a 40k bolter just from the shape and that kind of thing. But I was pretty happy with him. And then these little guys kind of came from that. Very, very simple little robots, but even this guy with a little bit of an action pose, I don't know, like dynamic miniatures to me are just so much nicer, and I should really try and sculpt some more like that, a little bit more movement and stuff in them, because I always appreciate it. These guys are just super simple, like a bead. This is could be a button, I think, and they're little bits of plastic card, I think, and that's cardboard, and they're just bits of wire from a printer, I think. Really simple, like, and even the paint job was really simple, but I feel like if you're looking to get a little crew for what's the one? Stargrave, or potentially Space Weirdos or anything like that, you could use these or something similar. Such cheap materials like the beads, the little even cardboard goes a long way, man, for real, you know. And a little bit dynamic poses and run. This guy's a bit goofy, and I'm not really happy with this guy. It's more so his arm didn't really work with the gun here, but hey, they can't all be winners. And then the eyes were little beads, just like in the skeleton eyes. But I think pretty happy with them. To be honest, I think actually to bring them to the next level, I could put like little numbers on them. You know, that could be really cool. Like little transfers could be quite cool, like on his chest or something like that. I think that could be good. But anyway, this guy was sitting on the bench as well for Jesus years, I'd say. But I'll finish up with this guy. This guy is a Cockatrice, which I think might have been featured in an old video potentially years ago now at this stage. And he was a really cheap chicken that it was cheap chicken toy that was built up on, kind of based on the old kind of weird, what would you call it, medieval manuscripts, kind of monsters with these curly tails and just straight different kind of style art. That's where this kind of tail idea came from anyway. But it's just green stuff, and then this is all, I think it's from a toothbrush, and there's milliput and all, let's say, Mod Podge in there as well. There's dry brush work as well. This is where I had probably where I figured the dry brush was like actually pretty sweet, because with the nice blend between this pink slash kind of magenta to the turquoise here in the back was quite nice, and then with the oil on top of the oil wash was just like, okay, this is pretty sweet, you know. And that's him, especially built on top of such a cheap figure. I think he looks quite well. Like, I got away with this cheap this texture, which isn't amazing, and even this isn't fantastic, but do you know, I think it was one of those things where it was on the desk for so long to get done. I'm just happy to kind of have it done, and I'm more than happy to have it on the table type thing, you know. But as it goes, gaming wise, right now it's 5 leagues is what I'm getting in as much as I can, which is quite good, and that's really it. Like, I'm really happy to. I know I keep mentioning it, but I do think it's just amazing to have these guys in the ramshackle shop and stuff like that. I'm not getting any, let's say, I don't get any money from this or anything like that. It's a great deal that Curtis does, but I was just very happy to have the opportunity to actually get him cast up, you know. But he's available at the moment, the toe tickler and that kind of thing. So maybe in the future there'll be more. I don't know. It kind of depends. But I'm happy with how it's going at the moment. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. I know it's kind of another random mix of fellas. It's not like, oh, I've updated my orc army or something like that. I know there's been people chasing me for what's the story with the orcs, but I've really not really been playing with them at the moment, sadly. But that's it. Weird assortment. Let me know which is your favorite or whatever, or what you think of how I actually ended up. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Okay, he's okay. Okay. He's okay. He's okay. Right, before I drop something else, like and sub and all that if you'd like, and I'll catch you in the next one. Good luck.